welcome. This is a 40-minute chair yoga practice. So you just need a chair on a non-slip surface. So I have a yoga mat underneath mine, so just make sure your chair is not going to budge in case you have to move it a little bit. Other than that, I think that's all we should need today. So you can go ahead and have a seat and just make yourself comfortable. And check that, first things, your feet are about hip width apart, right underneath your knees. And you could probably even see your big toes on the insides of your knees while you're sitting here. That's going to align your leg bones. And then balance both of your hips, both of your sitting bones in your chair, feeling for those right now. And then lift up through your torso, your rib cage, your shoulders, and then let everything just settle. So the head seems to float in space, right in between the shoulders and the center of the chest. And then you can close your eyes here and take a few breaths, getting acquainted with how you feel, how you are now. And this changes daily. Sometimes multiple times a day, or even breath by breath, it could seem. So it's important to take stock of that and know what you're working with when we practice yoga. So physically, how do you feel? Is any part of your body asking for attention? Mentally, what's your landscape like? Do you feel clouded with a lot of thoughts? Do you feel clear and focused? Notice any emotions that accompany you today. And those emotions can affect our body, can affect our mind, so it's important to notice those as well. And then just in general, what's your energy like? Do you feel tired? Do you feel alert? Ready to go? Stimulated? Pacified? And then we'll just start with a calming or evening breath. It's called Samavriti, which means equal or the same fluctuation. So it's just a simple ratio of 1-to-1 as you breathe in, matching that with your exhale. So let's start with a 3 count. We're just going to breathe in for 1, 2, 3, and then just simply exhale 3, 2, and 1. Do that a few times, see how that feels. Noticing what parts of your body respond or move as you breathe in and out. And then you might even notice a pause at the top of your inhale or the bottom of your exhale. And you could linger in those pauses, maybe even adding that 3 count to that brief moment of holding. So inhaling 1, 2, 3, holding 1, 2, 3, exhale 3, 2, 1, maybe holding 3, 2, 1. Try that a couple more times. Now if you have high blood pressure, I would just skip the retention, especially after the inhale. But notice how this affects your body. Hopefully it has an evening or balancing quality. One more time. And then join your hands together in front of your chest, acknowledging that you are here, thanking yourself, just having a little moment of gratitude. Then rub your hands together, warm yourself up. And once your palms are warm, you can place them over your eyes, blink your eyes open, and then relax your hands all the way back down. Okay, so let's get started with some movement for our body. body, for the joints. Let's begin with the head. You can just tuck the chin and lift the chin, mobilizing the neck. And move prudently at first. You can keep this to a really small range of motion, and then if that feels comfortable, you can exaggerate it more. Maybe even opening your mouth as you dip your head back. Just let the jaw hang. One more time. All right, then come back to center. Turn your head from side to side, bringing your chin towards one ear. And notice if your head is more willing to go one direction over the other. Can we balance that out with some attention? So you bring your conscious awareness to every movement, everything that you do. All right, and then head comes back to center. Let's roll the shoulders up, back, down, and around. So just a few loops, reminding the arms, the shoulders, that they live more on the back of the body than the front, because it's very easy to forget that, especially nowadays if you are sitting a lot, if you're at a computer, if you do a lot of reading in a seated position. All of that has a tendency to draw the shoulders forward. So roll them back, open the chest. And this has a nice benefit of improving our respiratory function too. So you can breathe better when your chest and your shoulders are wide open. Okay, set the arms down and let's take a little twist here. So you're going to turn to one side, bring your hands to the hip and the outside of the knee. Maybe look over the shoulder or behind you, and then just go the other way. So hands support the outside of the leg, and then you're just revolving around that central axis of your spine. Trying to keep your tail and the top of your head in one long line. Even imagining they were growing in opposite directions so you get longer. Feel the belly muscles engaged to support you, especially around the sides of the waist. One more time. And then come back to center and let's take a bend. So you can hold on to one side of your chair or an armrest if you have one, or just let the arm dangle. Bring your other hand to your hip and lean over to the side, either reaching towards the floor or just propping yourself up on an elbow if there's something in the way. And then go to the other side. It feels like letting some light in between the ribs in to flood the body, warm it up, make it a bit brighter. And you're really opening these intercostal muscles. So right in between each rib, we have some soft tissue that we're trying to warm up and spread out. And if you like, you can even take that arm alongside the ear if that starts to feel comfortable. Just be mindful that both of your bum cheeks stay in your chair so you're not tipping over. And you can help yourself do that by pushing into your feet firmly. One more time. Okay, back up to center. Take a deep inhale and let it out. And hopefully that feels good even with just that bit of a warm up. You feel more alive. Now inhale, stretch the arms out and up, reach as high as you like, spread your fingers. And exhale, just drop the arms back to your sides. And do that again. So the fingers spread wide, palms start to turn up and then face each other at the top. And then palms turn down and face each other at the bottom. Once more. Maybe even look up towards your fingers and then relax the head as the arms come down. Now we'll add on to this doing a sun salutation in the chair. So inhale, reach up. Now exhale, spread your arms wide, lean forward from your hips, bring your hands to your thighs to begin and just look down. Inhale, look forward, open your chest, push your hands into your thighs to prop up a little bit. Exhale, lean forward just a little bit more. Tuck your chin slightly. Inhale, push yourself up to sit tall. Spread your arms out and up. And then exhale, float your arms down to your sides. Good. Okay, so we'll keep going. A couple more of those. Surya Namaskars. Exhale, fold forward. Now you could stay halfway here, or you could slide your hands down your legs, reach towards your toes or the floor, drop your head. Inhale, come up halfway. Lift your belly off of your thighs, roll your shoulders back. And exhale, maybe fold further down, closer towards the thighs. Push into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up, sit tall, spread your arms and lift. And then exhale, relax your arms down. Once more. Inhale, lift up. Breath moves the body. Exhale. Sliding halfway or all the way down. Drop the head, release your neck. Inhale, look forward. Shoulders roll back. Exhale, fold over your thighs. Push into the feet. Inhale, sit tall. And exhale, relax your arms back down. And take one round of Samavriti breathing here. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, maybe holding. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Maybe another pause at the bottom. And then return to your natural breath. Okay, so let's try a downward facing dog, either standing up to use the chair, or we're just kind of lean forward, bringing the elbows to the thighs, draw your shoulders back, push your elbows down into your knees or your thighs to feel some traction for the spine. So this could be your first stage here. From the side, it would just look like this. Leaning forward to lengthen out your back. Now, if you wanted to stand up, you come next to your chair. Either you're going to use the seat of your chair or the backrest. So if your shoulders are feeling tight, I would stand behind the chair. I'm going to go to the side just so you can see me. Place your hands on the back of the chair. Hands are shoulder width apart. And start to walk your feet back. Maybe bend the knees until you feel a nice opening across the whole front of the body. Under the armpits, the shoulders, even the backs of the legs, reaching your pelvis away from the crown of your head. And if you were doing this with the seat of the chair, hands go on the seat and you do the same thing. Walk your feet back so you feel a nice stretch in your spine. And the head is right in between the arms. So you have different options depending upon how much space you have or how you're feeling. Take a few breaths here. It's like a big yawn for the whole body. And then when you're ready, slowly walk your feet back in, bend your knees, and push yourself up and have another seat. Okay. Now come to the edge of your chair. And we're just going to work with the legs here for a little bit. So let's push one leg out in front of us, straightening one leg. You can rest on the back of the heel, spread your toes. Maybe even pull the toes back to you, and then step that foot back in. So simple as that. Other leg, rest on the heel, pull the toes back, and step it back in. So it's kind of like an awkward march, but instead of bringing the knee up, you're stretching the leg out. And try to find some tone here at the front of your thigh, the quadriceps. So really pulling the toes back can help assist with that front of the thigh energy. Kind of balance both sides of the legs here. So you should feel this not only as a toning for the front of the thigh, but maybe even a stretch on the back of the leg. One more time. Now, can you lift the leg and hover the foot above the ground? Now this could be up to about knee height or it could be lower. The higher you go, the more intense it is for the front of the thigh. and switch sides. Make sure you can sit tall as you do this. So if you start to slouch, you're lifting the leg too high. Push out through the foot. Feel that toning on the front of the thigh. Maybe a stretch under the back of the leg. One more time. Okay, drop the foot. Now both feet on the floor. You're gonna drag them back towards you without actually moving them. And this is gonna help to engage your hamstrings, the muscles under the legs. So from the side, you're not gonna really notice any movement. I'm just pulling my heels back in towards me, as if you could pull the floor towards you. And then relax your effort, do that again. You could even try this one leg at a time if that makes it easier. So you pull your feet towards you and then release your effort. Grip with the hamstrings. And these muscles tend to be underused, especially if we're sitting a lot, so we want to make sure that they're turned on as well. Create balance in both sides of the body. One more time. Okay, and now see if you can hug one knee in towards your chest. So either hold underneath the thigh or the front of the shin and just bring one leg up towards you. Good, lift your chest. So you use your leg kind of like a prop to find more extension in your spine. And then set the foot back down, do the other side. Lift yourself up. Pull with your hands, even push against the hands with the leg. And again. Breathing as you do this. And it may not be that Samavriti breath we were doing. You could just breathe naturally as needed. Never want to hold your breath, especially if you're exerting more effort. Just keep it flowing. Last one. All right, set that foot down. Take an inhale. Exhale. Okay, now this one should feel good. We're gonna take the right foot, cross it over your left thigh, and you're gonna flex the foot. So it's right above the knee. If you have more flexibility, you might be able to draw that heel closer to you, but it's not necessary. You could sit right here holding the edges of the seat for support or even the armrests. So you're nice and tall, or you could lean forward, which is probably gonna bring more sensation to the outer hip. So just be aware of that. Make sure that foot stays flexed so we don't torque the knee. And you could look down at the ground to release the neck. Could even reach your hands towards the floor if you have more range of motion. Or if you're at a desk, you could put your hands on a desk in front of you. Or just rest your elbows on your shin. Take one more breath here. Lift yourself back up and let's try the other side. So you cross the ankle on top of your thigh. Now if your knee is hovering quite a bit higher than your other hip or knee, you're gonna have to support it here and you'll just stay in this position. Okay, but if it can kind of level off, you could sit tall as you are or hold the seat of the chair, the armrests, or maybe even lean forward, which is like turning up the volume. Long line from the crown of your head through the tail. So we prioritize the length and extension of the spine. And it should feel good, so if it doesn't, make some adjustments. Take one more breath. And slowly come back up. Step the foot down, take a big inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, lower the arms down. Okay, now we're gonna go back to using the muscles in the legs again. So since we have a chair behind us, let's take advantage of it and do some squats, because those are always fun. So bring the feet hips distance apart, push into your heels, lean forward. Now I'm turned to the side of my chair so you could see me, but you could do this just in the normal orientation of your chair. You could hold the armrests or even hold the seat. Press your weight into your heels, lift your bottom out of the chair, and sit back down. So you're leaning forward. I have my hands here as if I was holding onto armrests, and then sitting back down. And this is to fire up the back of the legs, your butte and your hamstrings. So those muscles that kind of go silent or get lazy the more that we sit, we want to turn them on. Engage them. Let's do one more here. And then come back down. Okay. Now another option, you could stand all the way up and do this at the back of your chair holding on, and you would squat down and help yourself up. But because you have the chair, it just kind of makes it nice to sit back down to do that. Okay. Now, take the legs out in front of you, sit at the edge of your seat, and you could have kind of a wide angle here. Spread your toes, so you're resting on your heels, and start to stretch forward, sliding your hands down your legs any amount. So you could pause at your knees, you could pause at your shins, or if you can reach your toes, you can go for it there. The floor is also a great option. Just rest your hands on the floor for support. And feel that stretch now through the back of the legs. Those muscles you just toned get some relief. That's one of the kind of guiding principles of yoga, is we want to balance our effort with a sense of release or relief. So everything you do has a quality of skillful action as well as relaxation. Surrender. Take one more breath. And then walk your hands up your legs, push into your thighs for support. Come back up. Set the feet, inhale, stretch the arms out and up. Big refreshing breath. Exhale, lower the arms down. Good. Okay, now lean forward. I'll turn to the side so you can see me. Bring your hands to your thighs, and we're gonna do a little isometric to prime the back muscles. So we want to avoid this slouching, which is very common for our posture these days. And one of the ways we do that is by engaging our back muscles. So hands go to your thighs, squeeze your elbows in towards your sides, reach your chest forward, long line for your spine, and imagine you could carve out a little ditch right in between the shoulder blades. So you're trying to push the back of your heart, or the back of your upper back, really, the back of your upper back, forward towards your chest. Pull your hands back on your thighs, so you're actually pulling the skin above your knees back, and that should give you a lot of sensation and feedback right away. Priming your upper back. Bringing more extension into your thoracic spine. And this would be kind of akin to a cobra pose if you're familiar with doing this posture on the ground. So you lift your chest. Take one more breath. Squeeze the elbows in, pull your hands back, and then exhale, let it go. Drop the hands down the legs and release. You can even nod your head, yes and no. Then slowly walk yourself back up And let's try a triangle pose here. So I'll give you two options, seated and standing. So seated, you're gonna open your knees wide apart, feet point in the same trajectory as your knees, so just make sure of that. And then you're gonna lean to one side, maybe resting your forearm on your thigh. Bring your hand to your hip, your shoulder, or lift your arm up. Nice long opening through the side waist. And you'll take a few breaths here and then switch to the other side. So holding the hip or your shoulder, maybe lifting the arm up, lean back a little bit, finding a slight rotation through your torso. And you can continue alternating from side to side, or if you would like to stand, I'm going to stand kind of in front to the side of the edge of my seat, and pressing the outer edge of my shin or knee into the edge of the seat for support here. And this is where it's important that the chair doesn't move. Now my back foot angles in slightly. My feet are about a leg's length apart. Soft bend in my knee, and I start to lean my upper body forward towards the chair and rest my hand on the seat. And then it's the same procedure with the arm, either hand to hip, shoulder, or lift it up, which of course you can't really see in the camera. Take a few breaths here, press into the feet, squeeze the muscles in the legs, the backs and the fronts. So really push into the front of your front foot and the outer edge of your back foot. That's going to help those muscles hug the bone. One more breath. Press yourself up, and you can try the other side if you like, if you're doing this standing. And if not, you're doing this sitting in your chair. So you support the outer edge of the knee or the shin. When you're ready, you lean forward, hand goes to the seat. Roll your belly, your ribs, your chest open, and find a comfortable position to place that top arm, wherever you like. Even notice your bottom shoulder. Is it shrugging up in an effort to support you? Let it hang down. Push into the chair. Take one more breath. And then help yourself back up and come to have a seat again. Okay. Inhale, take the arms out and up. Reach, sit tall. Exhale, relax your arms down. Rest your hands on your thighs, and let's do some cat and cows for the spine. So as you inhale, like we did earlier, pull your hands isometrically back, hug your elbows in, lift your chest, and now exhale, push your hands isometrically forward, round your shoulders forward as well, and tuck your chin. And do that again. So you're moving your upper back, your thoracic spine, forward and backward of your arms. And it should feel like an abdominal exercise too, especially as you exhale. One more time. And then lift yourself back up. We'll do another pose standing, our last pose standing here. And we'll come into let's do a tree pose here. So you have some options. First one would be stepping your foot onto the chair. So you're standing at the side of the chair and bring your foot closest to the chair onto the seat. Now, if you have an armrest, you need to come and stand in front of the chair to do this. Otherwise, you have to kind of vault over that armrest, which is awkward. Okay, now if this is too much, bring your foot to the floor, and you're just gonna balance, bending the knee, resting the heel against the ankle. okay? But if you want a deeper hip opening, you're gonna stand right next to the chair. Now my hand is holding onto the backrest. Could also have both of my hands at my hips if I want to challenge my balance, or even bring my hands together in front of my chest. And push down into both of your feet for stability. Feel that nice long line lengthening from your inner groin, through the inner thigh, through the knee. Take one more breath. And then slowly come out of the pose, hold the back of the chair for balance, step down, and walk to the other side, or just change sides as you need. So I'm holding onto the chair, step my foot up. If this is not appropriate, I keep my foot on the ground and just bend my knee and hold the chair for support. And then check that your foot, if anything, it's more forward of your standing foot, or they're in line. So you don't want it behind, or that's going to throw your balance off skew. And then you could keep holding the chair. You could bring your hands to your hips. Palms could go to your chest. Could even lift your arms up if you're feeling strong and steady. And just choose a version that allows you to breathe with the most freedom, the most depth. One more breath here. And then slowly step down off the chair. Go ahead and have a seat again. And just check in with how it feels to sit after those poses, especially after the one we just did. Notice the after effects. My legs feel more settled. My pelvis even feels more open, even a bit warmer. And that's because you get more circulation to those areas. Okay, take a deep inhale, reach your arms out and up again. Exhale, float the arms back down. And we'll take one more stretch here before we relax. So you could go to a straight leg, forward bend here if you like, maybe a soft bend in the knees, and slowly slide your hands down the legs, reaching anywhere you like towards the toes, stopping along the way. Maybe the head comes forward. You could also do this with bent knees. Fold over your thighs. And if it doesn't feel good to let your head hang down, prop yourself up on your elbows and just keep an angle. Maybe even looking slightly forward of your toes. So it's good to repeat some of the poses to imprint the sensations, imprint the muscle memory into the body. And that's how we can build new habits, new patterns of movement and behavior. Take one more breath here. And slowly walk yourself back up. And we'll end with kind of a funny exercise for release. Not really an exercise, but a pose called Simhasana, which is lion's pose. And this is to relax the throat, the jaw, the face. So we worked a lot of this part of the body, but not so much in here. So for lion's pose, you simply stick out your tongue on an exhale. And I'll show you first. So you just take an inhale and exhale. Tongue towards your chin. It's a big release for your jaw, your throat, the tongue itself. Let's do two more of those. Inhale, exhale. And last one, deep inhale. exhale. And now make yourself comfortable. You can sit back in your chair if you like, even all the way to the backrest, or grab a pillow to support you. If your feet don't reach the floor, maybe put them up on something. This chair is a little big for me. Relax your shoulders, reminding them to roll back and down. Chest wide and open. Your pelvis, your legs firmly seated and supported. Close your eyes, maybe return to that Samavriti breath. Even fluctuation. Maybe a 3 count inhale and a 3 count exhale. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. And if you'd like to add the retention, you can pause at the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale. Inhale 1, 2, 3, maybe pausing. Exhale 3, 2, 1, observing a pause if it feels natural. One more breath like that on your own. And join your hands together in front of your chest. Notice how you feel. Physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically. And take a deep breath in. Let it out your mouth. Rub your hands together, warm yourself up. And then place your hands over your eyes. Blink them open and relax your hands back down. Namaste. Thank you for coming.